Hello, this is Steve Board. I'm the chair of the Watertown Area Chamber of Commerce. I want to welcome you to our chamber chat. This morning we're going to interview two of some very important people here in Watertown. Our good friend Robin Kaufmann is the tourism manager, and Melissa Lampe is the executive director of our Main Street program. So ladies, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Good to have you both with us. So Robin, let's start with you. How long have you been responsible for the tourism piece of the Watertown area?
I have been working in tourism for almost 6 years. It'll be 6 years in November.
Okay. And what did you do before that?
I was a bank manager.
A bank manager. So what got you all excited about tourism?
Actually, I had a chance meeting with Melissa, and I always wanted to get back to my roots in Watertown. My bank position had been in Lake Country, so she kind of told me a little bit about the position, and the rest is history.
Well, very good. So Melissa,
Yes.
the Watertown Main Street program, how long have you done that?
So 6.5 years now.
So what, you guys just teamed up together?
Always.
Came at the same time?
Always, yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Now you're not originally from Watertown.
No, we're from Illinois originally, my husband and I.
And so what brought you to Watertown?
Our house.
What about your house?
So I like old buildings, which is no surprise to anyone who knows me. And we had our eye on Watertown. We were looking to move a little closer to the Milwaukee area from the Madison area. And there was a home that we just loved, and we had to wait it out for a little while. But all the stars aligned, and in 2007, we bought the house and moved to Watertown, and there's no place else I'd rather be.
So what got you started in participating in Main Street programs?
Sure. So my kids were young when we moved to Watertown, and I met Mayor John David, former Mayor David at the time, and said, I want to get involved in things. I like downtown building preservation, old houses. I like to be involved in things that make our community better. So he had appointed me to Historic Preservation Commission, and then I got involved with the Main Street program as a volunteer board member. So I served on the board for years. And then as my children were getting older, I was getting a little more involved, daily in the program. And then the opportunity came where the position opened up, and I was hired for it.
Didn't you do some of this before you came to Watertown?
I did. I was involved in similar organizations in the community of Stoughton, where we lived for 8 years.
Okay. When you talk about tourism, obviously the purpose of tourism is to attract visitors and to get people to come to our fine city, right?
Correct.
But what else does it do? What else is the benefit of what you do with tourism?
Well, you're right. We do try to attract people to come for a day or a night or a week on vacation. But in doing those promotions and showing our amenities, showing our events, we're actually also recruiting people to live here, to work here, and to bring their businesses here.
It is a great place to live.
It is, for sure.
There's just so much to do here.
Absolutely.
The recreation, the sports.
Correct.
There are great restaurants, good places to shop,
Yes.
some nice residential communities.
Yes, the events and the history of the city as well.
So what does tourism do? You talked about getting visitors, you talked about getting residents, people to move here, but it also helps in economic development, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The reason that we talk about having an overnight stay as part of tourism is because it does increase what a visitor is spending in the city on their eating, on their playing, on visiting some of our historical sites. And so it's important that we do have somebody spend the night, hopefully more than one, so that they can really make the city part of their daily expense while they're here.
So let's talk about how you are actually promoting the city. What tools are you using, and what do you see the reach of your promotions being for the city of Watertown?
Well, we're so appreciative for anything that we can do online. Print is never going anywhere, so we have visitor guides for sure. But we find that people are making last-minute decisions. So they're going to want to go to Facebook and Instagram and go to websites and find out what events are going on. And so we're very fortunate. We have a very active Facebook page. We are on pace to reach hopefully 2 million people this year, which is really incredible.
Right.
It's a very quick response. We get really excited when we see right away in the comments, I'm coming, let's do this.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So Melissa, let's go back to the Main Street program for just a minute. What are some of the activities of the Watertown Main Street program that people should be aware of?
So the Watertown Main Street program is a nonprofit organization, and our focus is on the preservation, beautification, and economic vitality of downtown Watertown. So we cover the 11 blocks of Main Street from Church Street to roughly Sharp Corner Park, and then a block or two north and south. So we raise a lot of money through events, which we then turn around and we invest in facade grants, of which we've given away about $20,000 a year for the past couple of years, spread over multiple projects. Our program pays for the beautiful flowers downtown. We pay for the lamppost banners and then other things that come up as needed. So we plan several events throughout the year in partnership with the Chamber and Watertown Tourism. The one coming up next is Sidewalk Sales on July 16th, and then the very fun Downtown Watertown Craft Beer Walk is July 21st.
So you talked about facade grants.
Yes.
What is some of the success of that program look like in the last couple of years? I mean, can you talk about a couple of the buildings perhaps?
Sure.
That have been done well?
Yes, so our ultimate goal is to make the forward-facing appearance of the downtown look better, because we all know that businesses that look really nice are going to be more attractive to shoppers who are going to want to spend money inside of them. Some amazing projects that we really just are so grateful for. And probably the biggest one is, of course, the Schempf building, where Ava's and
Beautiful
Blush
place.
is currently located. The owner of that building has made a significant investment in our downtown, and he has done a textbook perfect historic restoration of that building. Right. So that is a multi-million-dollar project. Then we have several other buildings downtown that have had fresh paint, that have had new awnings, new signage. I mean, every little bit makes such a huge difference in kind of raising the overall appearance and perception of our downtown.
Yeah. Let's go past Main Street for just a minute, because you're heavily involved in historic preservation and you own a beautiful Victorian home here in Watertown. What do you do with historic preservation? What's your role in that, and why is it so exciting to you?
Well, I just love old buildings, and they're unique, they're very difficult to replace, and I guess it's just my taste and my style. I'm board president of the Watertown Historical Society. I've been in that position since 2013, and of course the Historical Society owns and operates the Octagon House Museum. One of the really great things about Watertown is when people are looking to move here and they're interested in an older home, oftentimes a call will come to City Hall to ask some questions about it, especially if it's in one of our 5 historic districts. Right. And then oftentimes that person will be referred to me. So I get the opportunity to talk to them about beautiful old homes and different tools that are available if they wish to pursue them to try to offset the cost of restoring and maintaining an old home.
So there's one very important historic building in town,
yes.
Right? That is the
Octagon House?
The Octagon
of course.
House, that's right.
Yes.
And we would encourage people to come visit it.
Absolutely.
Right, and that's only open on?
So we're open every day except Tuesdays.
Okay.
So daily except Tuesdays with tours at noon, 1 and 2 p.m.
Good.
Thank you for the plug.
Yeah, well, we got to throw softballs every once in a while.
That's right.
Yeah. So you both reside, your offices reside in the Chamber building on Main Street.
Yes.
So what is the relationship with the Chamber? How do you work together?
Sure. So although we are, like Main Street Program and Chamber are separate entities, so much of what we do overlaps and is just in common. And so we work together to make our events bigger and better. And the fact that we all get along so well is great. I mean, that's key to making things happen. And we're all here not to benefit ourselves. We all have the common goal of trying to make Watertown the best place it can possibly be.
Robin, what are your thoughts?
I would agree. I think we're just great collaborators, and we share our resources, so we can all stick to our expertise and just make that building the greatest it can be.
And you both have quite a relationship with the city, the government entity, if you will, of Watertown. How does that work?
For me, I have a Watertown Tourism Commission, so those are appointed individuals through the city, and so we have a monthly board meeting to discuss all of our finances, all of our projects, and again, another great collaborative team.
Sure, and for me, I'm a citizen member of the Watertown Historic Preservation Commission, and the Main Street Program itself has a contract with the city. In my daily role, though, I spend a lot of time working with the staff at Park and Rec and the staff at the Street Department to get things done downtown.
Okay. So if you could highlight one thing for me, why Watertown is so special to you, what might it be?
I tell people often, because my husband is mostly remote, we could go live anywhere and I choose to stay here. I feel like the schools are wonderful. It's been a great place to raise my family. I love the people that I interact with here, and it's just a wonderful place to live.
Cool. Robin,
Yeah,
what are your
I would
thoughts?
agree with all of that. Just as well, I love recreation. I love living on the river. I love our amenities. I love how close we are to bigger things should you choose.
Good. Anything else you'd like to add? I mean, this has been tremendous.
Thank you. You've done a great job interviewing us today.
Yes,
Stephen.
thank you very
thoughts?
much. Visit Watertown.
Yeah. And where would they find that? Where would they go on the website?
We have a website, visit watertownwi.com. And then, of course, like I said, for immediate results of what's happening right now, follow us on Watertown Tourism on Facebook.
Okay. Melissa,
And-
Main Street?
Sure, watertownmainstreet.org is our website, and then we are also on Facebook.
All right. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank
This
you.
has been
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Great. Hello, my name is Steve Board, and I'm the chair of the Watertown Area Chamber of Commerce. And today I'm sitting with the three wonderful ladies who run the Chamber of Commerce here in Watertown. I have Bonnie Hertel, who is the executive director, Laura Nechkash, who is the event and marketing coordinator. Did I get the name right?
Sure did.
That was fun. And I have Barb Krueger, who is the office and membership specialist. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Glad you're all here. Bonnie, how long have you been the executive director for the chamber?
Well, I have been the executive director for almost 3 years. I started in July of 2019.
And what attracted you to the chamber?
Well, I have always been a chamber member no matter where I've worked, whether I worked at Klein's department store, who remembers Klein's, when I was in the hotel business, and even at the shopping center in Johnson Creek. So I always had that connection to the chamber, and when I was hired, it's just a perfect fit.
Yeah. Well, we're so glad that you're the executive director, doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Laura, how long have you been with the chamber?
It's been about 1.5 years now. Yep,
And what attracted you?
everything. I love being involved in the community, and I had just moved back to Watertown from being out of town for the last 2 years. So as soon as I saw the position was available, I was really hoping that I'd be a good fit.
You have a personal connection here?
I sure do, born and raised.
Born and raised.
Born and raised,
Came
yep.
back to town.
You
Good
bet.
to have you here.
Thanks.
Barb, what about you? We call Barb Chamber Barb, if you didn't know. So how long have you been with the chamber?
I just celebrated my 6th anniversary in May.
Yeah.
May 23rd, I believe is the exact date. And I have enjoyed every minute of those 6 years.
So what brought you to the chamber?
Well, I am also a Watertown native. I've been born and raised here. I raised my children here. And I just, when I saw that position open, I thought it would be a perfect fit for me, as I do have the gift to gab.
Yes, she does, folks. And she does very well at gabbing. So let's talk about that for a little bit. So what kind of excitement do you guys have at the chamber during the day?
Well, the one unique thing about being at the chamber is every day is a different day. So there is never no day that runs the same. You think you know what your plan is going to be for the next day, and it never happens because something always comes up. You get different situations, visitors, things like that.
So if I asked you what your normal day would be, you say you never have a normal day.
You never have a
That's
normal
true.
day.
That's very good. So Bonnie, the motto of the chamber is to be a member, be engaged, and be involved or be noticed.
Be noticed.
What does all that mean?
Well, it's very important as a chamber member that you do get involved. If you look at our calendar of events, we have a full year planned, and we have that all set a year in advance. We want our members to be engaged. We want them to network together and to be educated. So we put all of that together, as well as create some really fun events too. So we will have our golf outing coming up on July 28th, and it is our 29th annual golf outing. We're super excited about that.
Yeah, and where's that going to be held?
At the Watertown Country Club.
July 28th, very good. So what are some ways that a member can be engaged in the chamber? What would you encourage them to do to be engaged?
Attend our events. Number one, let us know, and I don't want to take away what Laura does, but let us know about what you have going on with your business. Is it something that we can promote for you? Can we post your jobs? There's so many different ways that we can connect our members, and then to connect our members together is so important too, and hear those success stories. It always brings a little tear to my eye when we hear those stories and how they've connected through one of our events.
Yeah, we find the business community in Watertown is very supportive of one another, don't we?
Absolutely, and we are the Watertown Area Chamber of Commerce, so we do bring in businesses from outside of the community as well, which is also a great way for those businesses to learn about what's going on in the area.
So talk about that. Where else do people join from?
Johnson Creek, Jefferson, Delafield, Exonia, those are some of the areas. Waterloo is another location where we get chambers members
from north, west, from all directions.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
We're a very strong chamber.
Yeah. How many members are there today?
330 right now.
330. Wow, that is a very. And when I'm traveling, people tell me that's a very big chamber.
It is a big chamber, and you know, speaking of traveling, I think it's really important for people to know the chamber office is the place visitors stop in, and we love to share where to go eat and what to do while you're in Watertown. So we get a lot of visitors as well as new residents coming into the community as well, and we love Watertown so much. We just love talking about and sharing what wonderful opportunities there are in our community.
You've been in Watertown for quite a while as well, right?
Yep, since 1985.
That's quite a while.
Quite a while, yep.
Yes,
I was going to stay for a year, and you know, the rest is history, so.
Well, we're glad you're here. Laura, talk about that. All these events
Sure.
that happen and different ways that we can get involved. What do you do for that? How
Sure.
do you help that?
A lot of my job is the social media side of the chamber. So we're active on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. And then since I've been brought on, I created a YouTube channel, which has really gone over well. We do ribbon cuttings, member spotlights each week, where I'll highlight a business that I pick each week. But yeah, promoting the events is a huge part of my role. And you know, Facebook is free advertising, so we just like to take advantage of that as much as we can.
And what kind of response are we getting?
Very good response, actually. Our followers are up, I think, honestly, a few thousand. We have over 4,000 likes on our page. The YouTube is getting more and more active. It's a great hub for businesses to be able to share their videos and help cross-promote their business. So it's going
And
really
how do
well.
they do that?
It's just simply, well, Google, but the big thing is Facebook. Like I do promote all of our events, and I always include the link where they can share that.
So if I as a business owner wanted to give you information, how would I get that to you? What would I do?
Oh, sure. The easiest is probably just give me a call or email, laura@watertownchamber.com. You can message our Facebook page. We monitor that 24/7. So.
Okay. And what kind of information do you see businesses wanting to share?
Mainly events, anything fundraising. I do a lot of looking myself to find things to promote for our members. But yeah, fundraisers, local things going on, just to get the word out. Because our Facebook page does have such a big following for this community, it's kind of the hub, the go-to to know what's going on for that week, that month, that year.
So Barb, as Chamber Barb, what kind of questions do you get? We're going to highlight that all day today.
Yeah.
So when you walk in the door, you just say, hey, it's Chamber Barb. What kind of questions do you get from the public about what's going on in Watertown and where do I go and those kinds of things?
I really wish I would have started a book, because every day you get a phone call asking for a very unique question, whether it be how to spell something, whether it's to
Well, it's not like a carnival walk. You don't have to have a bunch of those.
find a
right?
phone number for a particular business. Somebody called yesterday looking for I think it was the community center, but it was under something. It was under a different part of the name. It was under Watertown, whatever. And
Right.
so they just sometimes, and we just, you know, anybody that calls and asks whatever question, whether it is chamber related or not, we are there to help.
We kind of are the information source for the
We
city
are.
in many ways.
411.
right?
We are, yes, the 411.
So I imagine when the special programs are coming up, whether they're chamber programs or city-run programs or somebody else, you all will get phone calls. People
Especially
will
now with
ask.
the fourth coming up, that is a separate entity for water. It's not through the chamber. that the 4th of July parade and the fireworks are run, but we will answer all of the questions as much as information that we can give them. This year it's the Dewey route, so the parade will be going down Main Street to Dewey.
Although it's starting at a different spot
Yes,
because
it will
of some
be.
of the construction and
Yes,
stuff
yes,
on Main
that it
Street,
will.
yeah. So it's always fun, and it starts at 10 a.m. Don't call, starts at 10 a.m., right? And it'll be on that route.
Right.
So Bonnie, some of the things that the chamber does is like Leadership Watertown. Could you walk us through that?
Well, actually, I brought a little pamphlet along about Leadership Watertown. Leadership Watertown has been going on for 28 years. We just had our class graduate in June, and we're now soliciting for our next class. So our deadline is in mid-August, and we start in September. But this is such a strong program. I took the class in 2019, and I thought I knew everything about Watertown. No matter if you've lived here your whole life or you're new to the community, Leadership Watertown is a great opportunity to learn behind the scenes of what's going on in the community. So we're learning about city government, the businesses in the community. We've even incorporated getting to fly in the small airplanes from Wisconsin Aviation, which was a lot of fun for the students. We have lunch at a different chamber member business each one of those months as well. So it's a really great opportunity not only to learn about Watertown, but then you're also getting to network with this core group of students, and they're all ages too. That was my thought. I'm like, I don't want to be in a class where there's all young people, and it's a wide range of anywhere from 30, 60 plus. So anybody can participate in Leadership Watertown that wants to learn a little bit more about it. So you can reach out to Bonnie at watertownchamber.com to learn more about
And
Leadership Watertown.
it's basically the first session is a get to know you,
It's
and
a
the
team
last session
building.
is the thank you, but there's like 9 months in there?
There's 9 months. We also put together, the class decides on a project that they want to do, and it's usually a project that's going to impact the community. So, for example, in 2019, my class got cut a little short with the pandemic, but we came up with supporting Cart Park. So if you see Cart Park,
Yeah.
K-A-R-T, Park, which we turned over to the Park and Rec Department. They are taking that cart and bring it into the communities that's underserved for parks. That was a great program, and this most recent class is doing wayfinding pillars that will be near the town square, so they fundraised and reached their goal for that.
Yeah.
So you'll see that shortly after the apartment complex
And that
goes
cart
up.
part is actually a cart.
It
that
is. They hook it up and they take
Full of
it.
equipment and gear
Yes.
and everything that they take to a community and have
Yep.
fun time with the kids.
Absolutely.
Right,
Yep.
interesting. So Laura, let's talk about events.
Sure.
Can I do that? What,
Sure.
what event have you found in your time with the chamber now that has been the most well-received, that everybody seems to be excited about? Is there any one that jumps out to you?
Oh, there sure is.
What's
There sure
that?
is, Steve. Our 100th anniversary celebration
Okay.
was a few months after I started, so that kind of became my full-time job, per se, when I started with the chamber last year. And we celebrated it a year after the 100th anniversary, thanks to the pandemic. But just bringing that whole community together and everything that went into that, it was really, really heartwarming to see all that hard work pay off. And regardless of what the weather was that day, we had a great turnout. Kids, families, the Cart Park was there, a DJ, we had live music, and our vendor fair downtown was so well received that we brought it back this year again and just had it this past weekend. So
Basically closed Main Street and
Closed
said,
Main Street,
come
yeah.
on down and join us.
Yep, and seeing so many familiar faces and just all the work that goes on behind the scenes that many aren't aware of, seeing that all come together and having a really good outcome.
Yeah, excellent. So Barb, lifetime resident, what's the highlight of Watertown to you? What do you love about Watertown?
I don't know. There's so many different things. The parks are wonderful. When I grew up, my big thing was to hang out at the pool all day long, and that has since changed since I've started going there. because they built the new
Oh, I see, the new pool.
the new
The new
pool,
pool.
which most people are used to now.
Yeah.
But that was one of the big things at Watertown. I think one of the nice things that they did for the community.
How about you, Bonnie? What do you think is special about Watertown?
You know, we raised our daughter here, and I would, other than the parks, because those are very special to us, Chamberlain, which is at Riverside Park. I was the volunteer coordinator for that many, many years ago, and it just has a special place in my heart. But the school district is absolutely amazing. My daughter had a wonderful education. I'm going to give a little shout out to the Watertown Blue Review, WBR, because she did dance with them from 5th grade all the way up to her senior year, and it really shaped her, I think, into the wonderful woman she is today. So,
How about you, Laura? What's special about Watertown
Well,
to you?
there's a lot of things, Steve, but I've been involved in the Watertown Tennis Association since I graduated high school, and I won't say the year, but let's just say it's been over 20 years that I've been in that program. I love the tennis courts, love the school district. I graduated from Watertown High School. I was the first class in the new high school, such a nice facility. But yeah, there's no secret. If people know me, they know I like to get involved in things, and I've been involved in the Watertown Humane Society, Watertown Share the Road. But there's so much to do. Like, our event calendar is just a snapshot of what this town actually offers.
So speaking of that, last question. What's the Watertown Area Chamber of Commerce website?
WatertownChamber.com.
Watertown Chamber. There's many cities named Watertown.
There
in the
sure
country.
is.
yeah.
So
There
just
sure
make sure
is.
you get the right one, right?
Yes, exactly.
WatertownChamber.com, right?
You bet.
All right.
Great question.
Ladies, thank you so much. Folks, come visit the Chamber of Commerce. These three ladies are there every day. They do a great service for the community. We'd love to have you come see us. And if you're not a member, you ought to be. Thanks for joining us.